Section 16. Principal Offender. I got to work very early in the morning. But before I could open the door to my office, the AIG's orderly stepped into the lobby and called on me. He told me the AIG requested I see him immediately, and as such, I followed him. On getting to the PA's office, he was not on seat, so I stepped into the AIG's office, where I met two elderly women. The AIG introduced one of them as the owner of one of the biggest secondary schools in Lagos State. The AIG asked the two women to follow me, which they did. The other woman introduced herself as Mrs. Usman. She told me that her daughter was currently in the intensive care unit of a hospital fighting for her life after she was recently attacked with concentrated acid. From her explanations, her daughter could not identify the suspect because it had happened at night in a dark alley. She only saw movements of shadows, and the next thing she felt was her skin burning. I followed the two women down to the school to see things for myself. First, I went to the gatehouse and inspected their CCTV footage, as well as the X-ray baggage scanner. Nothing incriminating was detected in the memories of these two devices. This ruled out the fact that the suspect brought the acid from outside the school, but it became obvious that the suspect got the acid from the school lab, which was my next stop. The school granted me access to inspect how the quantity of acid allocated to the school was used. I carried out the exercise with the help of the storekeeper, who showed me all the people that requested for acid. I noticed that the lab prefect, Ngozi, given her status, constantly requested for acid for the chemistry teacher for titration experiments. I also noticed that in most cases, the quantities she took were the same, but the last one she took weighed less than others. I cross-referenced the dates she collected the acid with the chemistry teacher's chemistry practical timetable and discovered that the last acid she took did not add up because it was not accounted for. The school principal called her into her office and left the office space for me to question her. Initially, she said that she had some students she was helping out with their chemistry practical. I quickly grabbed a pen and paper and requested she give me their names and the facilities she used to teach them. I could see she was confused. Not knowing what else to say, I asked her to tell me the truth. I suspected she hadn't used the acid herself, but had probably given it to someone who had actually used it to commit a crime. I told her that shielding the person would force me to charge only her for the offense. Then her shoulders fell. I gave the acid to Desola and Alima, she confessed. That's all I did. I requested to see both girls. The minute they stepped into the principal's office, Desola started shouting, "It's Alima that poured the acid on her face, not me, it's Alima, not me." But before she finished the sentence, Alima slapped her so hard she fell to the floor, holding her face. Then Alima turned to me. I told her to leave my man alone, and she refused, so she got what she deserved. Let us see if Femi will still want her now. She admitted to committing the offense, and that Desola was with her when she did it. Alima was not sorry for what she did. She told me her godmother and mentor, who she looked up to, advised her to ruin Jumai's face, as that was the only way Femi would stop seeing her. The school in question had two sections, one for boys and the other for girls. Femi was in the boys section, where Alima's mentor ran a big food canteen. She was the one who exposed the relationship between Jumai and Femi, and she also advised Alima to confront Femi with it. This made Femi end his relationship with Alima and focus on Jumai. On many occasions, Femi and Jumai went to Alima's mentor's food canteen to eat. This was why she, out of anger, advised Alima to damage Jumai's face so Femi wouldn't find her attractive any longer. All four of them, Alima, Desola, Ngozi, and Mrs. Adamu, Alima's mentor, were all rounded up and moved to my office. As it turned out, Mrs. Adamu's husband was a lawyer. He came to my office and demanded I release his wife, that she had no role in the offense. He stated that mere words did not constitute an offense. I disagreed with him, stating that his assertion only held value if it applied to words of abuse and not words of advice that initiated the offense. I opened Section 16 of the Criminal Laws of Lagos State 2015, which highlighted principal offenders as follows. Every person who actually does the act or makes the omission which constitute the offense. Every person who does or omits to do any act for the purpose of enabling another person to commit the offense. Every person who aids another person in committing the offense, or any person who advises, counsels, or procures any other person to commit the offense. The last phrase clearly discarded his claim.
This work of fiction is a production of COSPEAKS, composed and written by Chidi Okoye, narrated by Ikenna Igwe, sound production by Glaze Entertainment, graphics by Illustro Kings Creatives, video production and effects by Kings Media, visual and shots by Sheung B. Thank you for viewing.